Hello out there in YouTube land. Going to give you another Sawmill movie. I don't know exactly where I'm at. I might have to move it over a bit. I think I might be in there. Not that you really want to see my ugly face in here. Title of this movie, I'm not quite sure what it is yet. I haven't put it together. But it's something about sawing in a thong. And let me tell you the story how this came about, amongst other things. We were in there trying to get on the computer and do the monetization thing, and we've been working on that for, I don't know, probably close to a month and a half now, and haven't gotten too far with it. But I see they didn't hesitate at getting those commercials in. But to get that over, the wife and I just aren't computer good enough to get that, but we're working on it. So that was one thing that we're doing that, and the wife is not real supportive of the channel as of yet. But if she saw $1 coming in, she's so squeaky that might perk her interest to help maybe video a little bit more. But to see her in the video is probably slim to none. Anyhow, what we're looking at that, she goes, well, you don't have very many viewers. You don't have but, you know, 5. No, I said that's 5,000. Oh, okay. Well, Mike Morgan's got a lot more than you do. I said, well, yeah, there's a lot of people that have a lot more than I do. But I said to get big in YouTube, you just got to have one that goes, I guess, what they call viral. Well, I haven't had that one go viral yet. I said you got to have a clickbait thing, or you got to have some hanging out or something like that, and then all of a sudden everybody in the world goes in on it, and ain't got that. So anyhow, we were working on that computer probably today for 45 minutes trying to get that done. It didn't get very far. So on the way out, after that conversation, she says, well, why don't you saw in a thong? I'm sitting there going, yeah, okay, that ain't gonna happen. Well, how that came about though was we back up to right over there. There's a 400-acre farm, and the gentleman over there that farms it, he got it from his dad, will be out there in that tractor plowing or disking or seeding or whatever he does, and he'll be riding that tractor in a thong. Now there's only about 5 or 6 houses on this road. I got a splinter that's getting me. 5 or 6 houses on the road. But let me tell you, when he's out there plowing, them women are like that. My wife is on the phone in a heartbeat. Did you see that farmer? He was out there running a tractor in his thong, and it is a riot. Just a riot. So that's why she rattled that off. And so that's why I said, well, I'll put that in the video. Sawing wood in a thong or something. I don't know how that is, but that's kind of how that story came about, and that's how the title came about, and it's just kind of funny and laughing. So I hope you all laugh and funny at it, and if you think you're going to see me in a thong in this, you better just change your channel right now, because it ain't going to happen. Don't own one, don't have one, just barely know what one is. So anyhow, I did a little update on the sawmill. What you guys don't realize that for every hour of sawing you do, there's probably 3 hours of upkeep. Well, one thing I just finished is I tightened the belts up just a hair. I only drew them up another 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch, 3/16 maybe, and I drew a new line. I had I don't know if you can see that line. I had the orange line on. There were 4 of them lined up, and they're not too lined up right now. So I know I got a little slippage there. So I did that. Had to run into town, get some Earl, because the old Detroit just wasn't leaking enough oil. So if you're not leaking oil in the Detroit, it's because it's low on oil. So I had to do that. Had to check the fuel. The fuel was okay. I didn't take you guys along for a lot of the cutting on this, a lot of cutting on this log over there. I'm going to zoom you in on it, and then I'm going to go over there. You won't see my ugly face too much. A lot of work, and I don't have a computer set works, and my brain's far from a computer, but a lot of the sawing is trying to get the most out of the log without wasting a lot, and sometimes you're just going to waste a lot, and you're better off just wasting it than sitting there for an hour thinking about how to do it. Well, I've wasted probably more than an hour thinking how I'm going to saw that log, and that's why I have not videoed too much up to this point. I don't know what's video. This is videoing ahead of other videos and stuff like that, so they're all out of order now. But you're getting sawing while the weather's nice, because that's when you can saw. But you got to stick with me through when it starts raining. I'm going to be dumping a bunch of stupid videos like bringing the logs up. Anyhow, what I decided to do, I need 6-inch boards. 2x6s. So between here and here is 6 inches. So I want a clean 6-inch face here. And if I'm hoping that I'll get it on this line because 6 inches is between here and here. Okay, and if I saw that, that'll give me a little extra. And if it has a little bit of, I guess they call it wane or bark or whatever you want to call it on there, it ain't going to make any difference. It's a purlin. Then I'm just going to saw all the way through this. After I saw all the way through that, I'll have a bunch of 12-inch boards that are going to be heavier than I can handle, but I'm going to pull them off, then lay them down, and then saw them into they'll be sawed into pieces, but I'll stack some up and then saw them. So that's what I decided to do to get the most out of it. I've got one board here, I got one board here. I think I might have got a board here. Let's see, I got I got 2 boards over here. Maybe 2 or 3 boards here and an inch one. The neighbor wants an inch one. I cut the last mill. I guess I'm not quite done yakking. I cut the last we got to come in. I cut the last board into 1 inch for the guy that needed for his chicken coop. All right, fine. Need a chicken. How many boards you need? I don't know, 5 or 6. Okay. So I get a 5 or 6. I figure, well, I'll just cut the whole log out and give him the whole log, and then he can do whatever he wants with the rest of it. So I go up to the neighbors because he always visits the neighbors. I said, I got your boards ready. You can pick them up. He says, okay. And I got to talking to him and Penny, my neighbor. And the next thing I find out, he doesn't need 5 or 6. He needs a 25 to 30 foot run of these boards. So after I cut this, I'm going to run up there and I can pull 2 logs. I think now it's getting stiff enough. Pull 2 logs down and try to get his boards cut out of that. I've not got a definite answer now on what he needs. I thought you needed 5 or 6 boards. That's what you said. No, I need them 5 or 6 feet long. Well, how wide did you want them? Well, we got on the 8 inches. That's good. But you know, it's dealing with. He's a nice guy. I fumble a lot. He's got me by 16 years older than I am. Okay, I think he's 86, maybe 84. I don't know. So when he fumbles around and kind of does the same thing that they're accusing Joe Biden of, I don't know. I can understand that. And Biden yapping and doing stuff doesn't mess me. This doesn't particularly mess me, except for I can't get. What do you want? Tell me what you want. You have to know what you want before I can saw what you want. And we still haven't got it clear, so I'm going to saw a bunch more and try to get him happy because I like to take care of my thing. But the same way was in firewood. People come in, well, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. I said, I'm not selling firewood. It's too much of a. I just don't really like dealing with the public. If they'd come up here, I want this. This is what I want. Do you have it? Yes. Do you have it? No. I've been dealing with people on those Jeeps up there. Well, do you have this? Do you have that? Well, I want it. I want it. It's a pain in the neck. That's why I don't. I'd rather keep a pile of junk around here than have to deal with wishy-washy people that don't know what the heck they want half the time. Well, anyhow, enough of this junk jabbering. We're going to saw this. We're going to make it a half-hour movie because that's how long it goes. I'm going to bring you. I guess I'll bring you back here because then you'll see all of it. Of course, then you'll see me jumping over the proverbial shaft. So I'm going to catch heck on that. You don't need to see back there. I think that's a pretty good shot. All right, might as well turn your volume down because you know what comes next. A roaring Detroit. That's got oil in it now. Let's see. I got to figure out how to start it. I've done this once before. Start button. see how much time we got left. Oh, we're at 22. That's pretty good. I'm gonna call it quits on this video. I'm gonna post it tonight. Today is, I don't know what day it is. I want to look see how my white lines did here. They look like they still some slippage, yep, because all the white lines aren't coming up. But it seemed to saw all right, so I'm not gonna tighten the belt. There's just no point in tightening those things up any tighter than they are and putting stress on the bearing. This last board is about an inch. Sometimes you just can't get what you want out of it, and you just cut. And this one here is an inch. But you see how close, there I can see it here, how close to the dogs I was. And that's why I was running slow. I mean, you're talking, that's a 1/16 of an inch there. My dogs really, on this old mill, need to be adjusted so you get a 1/2 inch. This one's probably, no, I don't know which one. One of them's really good. When you're in all the way, these have settings. Oops, I flipped you around too much. I'm gonna pull this up. See all these little notches in there? Okay, when you pulled out and you're in your last notch right here, so if you go in all the way and then pull to the last notch, when you drop that dog down, I can't drop it right, because that's improper way of setting a dog. You can see where it hit right here. I can't see what I'm sitting. I'm gonna have to set the camera down and maybe you can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to. What you want to do, I've said another is pull this out, so it's as far as it's going. And see, that came out another 1/4 of an inch, so that log would vary. That's why you want to pull it out. One of the reasons you want to pull it out, there's probably some other reasons that you want to pull it out. If you pulled out all the way, if you're running as close as I am and you didn't pull it out all the way and there's a lot of tension in the board, it might pull it out and hit the blade that way. There was another reason, but I already forgot what I was going to tell you. Anyhow, we're up to 24 minutes. That's a long time. But see, this one here is just too far out, and I'm not sure whether I'm in the first thing or not. Made some good boards. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set all these up and cut them at 6 inches, and I'm going to do that the next movie. I'm going from this one to that one, but all the setup and I got slab wood down there again to cut up, and like I said many times, maybe even in this movie, sawing, you might saw for an hour, but the cleanup is 3 hours. So and the setup to do the saw, I mean, go into town and get oil, and now I got to go up there and get 2 more logs that I'm going to bring down and that kind of stuff. So I don't really think you guys want to watch paint dry me getting set up. So that's where we're at today. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off, get the logs flipped over, and then we're gonna come back when I'm sawing those into 6 inch boards. I almost sawed in. If you notice me, I was sawing in, and then when I got to a certain point, if I could have gotten 6 inches out of that, I would have flipped it down and then run 6 inches that way. But I was still going to have too much left over. So, like I said, sometimes you do more thinking, and you ought to just saw it, and the waste you throw away and just chalk it up as waste. So, all right, that's it. Daggone if I didn't get bit again by something. All right, we'll see you. Bye.